when we're alone, we get an opportunity to check in again and say, okay, am I living by my values? You mentioned integrity. That's so critical for happiness.
So what's your best advice for someone who's newly out of a marriage and considering getting back out there again?
It really depends on the person and their relationship and the history of their relationship. Maybe sometimes people come out of a union, but they are really ready and that union has been gone emotionally for years and years. And sometimes they are even into another relationship, which I'm completely against it, unless you are with somebody, finish it, end it, and then go to the next person. However, when you are out there, you need to give yourself time to be able to heal, to forgive, and don't put all the blame on the other person. As long as you're hurting and you're resenting and putting the hurt and blame to the other person, you don't get a chance to look and see what was your role in stepping in that relationship or creating that relationship. And when you don't know that, the possibility of creating it again is very high.
I love what you said. 2 steps. One is you've got to heal your heart by finding forgiveness. That's the closing one door before another door opens. And 2, how do you get to that place? It's not just letting go and finding forgiveness, but it's seeing your role in it. And seeing your role in it doesn't mean it's your fault. It just means you contributed to the problem. And by seeing how you contributed to the problem gives you the confidence and trust that if I change that, then I'm not going to create the problem again. It's so important. And even if on the scales your partner was a drug addict and beat you and all kinds of terrible things, how did you contribute to that? Well, there was a little voice a long time ago that said, get out of this relationship. And I didn't. I stayed and tried to heal that person. I tried to fix that person. Then that's how you sabotage relationships, is getting involved with people that you want to fix, people that you have to heal, people that can't live without you. That's a mistake. You need to come to a relationship as 2 full people.
I agree. And when something ends and you take time away from that to review, you have time, because the time that was spent in a relationship is now open. And if you're going to fill it, because time is a void and a vacuum and will be filled, fill it with meaningful things. So if a person is looking for what to do after, think, what ignites me? What have I been passionate about in the past that I haven't given any time to lately, but still gives me that spark? Still lights me up if I think about it for a second. Or what am I curious about? Those sorts of things. And maybe opportunities to meet other individuals will come that way. Maybe they won't. But in the process, you'll be enriching your own life.
Yeah, it's about being back to being whole. Because oftentimes when people get divorced, they're out of balance. And it's about learning the lessons from the past relationship and healing yourself, getting back into balance and feeling whole, and then moving forward by joining spiritualsingles.com.
Well, the great thing about spiritualsingles.com is you can, as you're exploring different things to make you whole and complete inside, you can start dating again, and you can make it clear, I'm not looking for a serious relationship, and I may not even be interested in having sex with you, but I'd like to get to know you. The idea is lower your expectations. You don't have to be like, okay, I have to find the perfect person who's not going to do that to me again. I'm going to be looking and testing every man. You got to get out of that and just try being a new person, coming from a more place of wholeness and centeredness and not neediness. So important. And if you lower your expectations to, okay, someone to spend some time with, have a good time with, but not to get too serious with, and you make that upfront true, you're not out of integrity, you're not hurting anybody, and you're getting a chance to be a human being, having friends and people you're interacting with.
I think it comes back to values a lot of times too. What are our values and what do we live by? And when we're alone, we get an opportunity to check in again and say, okay, am I living by my values? You mentioned integrity. That's so critical for happiness. Am I living by my values? In my book, It's Not That Complicated, there's a lot of tools to checking in. Am I living by my values? Am I living my purpose? And in order to find the next step in life, whether that includes your perfect mate or a next date, living in integrity with yourself would be the next step.
That's such a beautiful concept, because you can't find a person who has your values if you're not living your values.
That's right.
You know,
you
it's
don't
like,
impossible.
you know, I've seen people in relationships expecting their partner to do something they don't do for themselves. For example, let's say you have a lot of upset feelings and you get upset your partner can't hear them. Well, can you hear them? Can you sit down and journal them? Can you go to a wonderful therapist and talk about your feelings? No, I have to have my partner do it. They have to do it. When they won't even do it for themselves. I mean, this is like, I love that idea of knowing your values, acting from your values. You can then attract a person who has similar values, and you will.
Breakups are hard. I mean, we've all pretty much covered that. And for someone that's newly out of a marriage, the thing to do is to take some time to understand what happened, what your role in it was, forgive the person that may have hurt you or left you. And, you know, when you're ready, get back out there. Take a little time, but get back out there.